the constant exhaustion. Welcome to Change the Conversation with the Hopefulist. My name is Wendy McClure, and it's time we had a conversation about living in a patriarchy and how that affects our lives. Together, we can make a difference and change the conversation. Hello, and welcome back to all my fellow women warriors. We are working hard, we are getting things done, and things are happening. I wanted to mention that we are about 200 signatures short for having 100,000 people sign to get the ERA into the Constitution this year. Did you know that 80% of the population believes that there is an equal rights amendment? They think that it is already in place. It is not. It is not in place. It has gone through everything it needs to go through, but it is yet to be adopted and published in the Constitution. This is what we're working so hard for right now. So if everybody listening to this could go to Sign for ERA and sign up on the petition, that is, it is signforera.org. Okay, that's not what I wasn't sure if it was .com or .org. Signforera.org, and please add your signature. It is very important that we get this done this year, and we're so close. So close. So today we're going to be talking about the constant exhaustion. Oh my gosh. And one of the reasons that women particularly do feel so exhausted all the time is because a lot of the work we do isn't considered work. It's not valued. Even my husband made a comment this past weekend that was kind of like, what, are you not listening to anything I'm telling you? He claims he put his foot in his mouth and he was trying to backtrack and get himself out of it, and he just made it worse. It's probably what happened. But we were about to go grocery shopping, the two of us together. Yes, we do typically do it together. Every once in a while, he'll go alone or I'll go alone. But I had mentioned something about, I don't want to go to work. And he's like, this isn't work. And I'm like, what? So this is what, fun? You don't consider this something that needs to be done? That's work. If it needs to be done, it's work. And he even went on to say, well, work is like when I go to my job and get paid. I'm like, oh, really? I cannot believe that you just said that to me, because now we're going to have a long, drawn-out conversation. This is why we are so exhausted, because so many men and women, for that matter, consider work just the work that you get paid for. And this is very convenient for society, a patriarchal society, because it's predominantly the women who do the free labor, who do all of the work inside the home that has no value in this society. And that's what we're attempting to change. So imagine if you were being paid. Could you imagine? We don't even have to go that far, really. Imagine if the work you do in the house was actually considered work and considered valuable. If we at least were given credit for all that we do, most times in addition to a 40-hour-a-week at least job. You know, it's all of these things that we do that nobody even gives a second thought to. Like I had told my freezer story a couple of weeks ago, how my husband had everything out of the freezer, and it never even occurred to him to wipe it out. Never even occurred to him to wipe it out. Why is it ingrained in women to do stuff like this, but men don't even consider it? Again, the patriarchal society that we are brought up in. I know, as somebody that has to keep track of the cleaning and stuff, and my husband cleans. I mean, it's not like he is very good when it comes to the division of labor, but it's just the fact that he doesn't even consider these things. It's like when, we're taking the Christmas decorations down and we're hauling the tree out, and he's like, he's like going to put everything back the way it was. I'm like, no, I've got to vacuum first. If everything's been rearranged, I got to vacuum. It gives me a good chance to get under everything. And, they don't even consider it because they've not been encouraged to think this way. Women have. So, and it's not even just all the domestic work. It's all the mental labor, all of the scheduling, the planning, the delegating. I've talked about this before. Women are the CEOs of their family. They are. They know everything that's going on. They know everyone's schedule. They know what everyone likes to eat. They know what everyone is allergic to. They know what time people have to be at certain places and what time they need to be home. They know everything that's going on. And if you compare that to a CEO of a corporation, they get paid more money than anybody. And even the CEOs of the corporations have a bevy of people below them. They delegate. They have a sales team with a sales manager. They have a marketing team with a marketing manager. They have a production team with a production manager. And the CEO is in charge of keeping all of these people on top of their job so that they can keep everyone else on top of their job. Women don't have this help, nor do they have this pay. But what we do need to do is to start asking for more help, because it's never going to change unless we change it. We have to be the ones to change it, because this is why we're exhausted all the time. This is why we never have time to do what we want to do. I think we should change the definition of work to anything that has to be done. You know what has to be done? Dishes, laundry, making doctor's appointments, scheduling where you're going to spend the holidays, things that have to be done, things that need to be done. That is work. And that's what we need to start calling it. We need to make sure that people know that this is work. And at the very least, if we're not getting paid for it, there needs to be a value attached to it. So what we need to do in order to change the conversation is to start calling all of this work. I have work to do before I can go to breakfast, whether that is doing the dishes, getting the kids dressed, what have you. I have to do this work before I can sit down and eat breakfast. I have to go home after work and do 2 more hours of work, because I have to go get the kids from practice, take them home, feed them dinner, get them into the shower, and then make sure that they're doing their homework and put to bed on time, or they get themselves into bed on time. That is a lot more work that needs to be done. And God forbid, you got to do the dishes, you got to do some laundry, or you want to, clean up the bathroom. And what we need to do is tell people when we're asking for help, when you're saying to your husband, I need you to help me with the laundry. I want you to say, I need you to help me with some work around the house. I need you to help me with work today. And he's going to go, what do you mean work? I need you to do 2 loads of laundry. That's not work. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Do you want to do it? No, probably not. Does it need to be done? Then yes, it's work. And that's what we're going to start calling it. We're going to start calling it work. Yeah, really. This is how we change the conversation. We have to lead it. We have to be the ones to start changing the definitions to appropriately recognize what it is we are actually doing. Because right now it has no value. And we need to make sure that it is valued the way that it should be. So some of the things that I want you to think about as we move forward, while you're calling it out as work, while people are like, you're crazy, be like, yeah, you can call me crazy all you want. It's work. It is work. It's work. I want you to think about the 3 E's as we move forward. The first one is examine. Examine all you're doing. Paid and unpaid work. Don't forget about the mental labor, as I mentioned earlier, the scheduling, the practice, the games, the school stuff, the holidays, the vacation. It all counts. Women they know everything about everyone in their family. I bet you the men don't know everything about everyone in the family. I bet you they don't know about all of the food allergies. They might not know where the school is. They probably don't know the teachers' names. Maybe don't know the teachers' names. I don't want to do that. But I want you to examine all you're doing, because there is a reason that you are exhausted. There's a reason. It's because you're doing so much. So much that doesn't get any credit or value in this society. And it's so bananas when you really dig down and think about this stuff. It is so ridiculous that we don't get any credit for basically running a family. What they claim is the backbone of America, the nuclear family, the backbone of America. But the person who's actually doing all the work to make that happen, they get nothing. They get no credit. No, in fact, they're relegated to second-class citizen in this country as of late. Anyway, the second E I want you to think about is easy does it. Once you identify all the myriad of things that you're doing, give yourself a break. Give yourself a break, because, I bet that until you actually examine everything that you're doing, you don't realize all that you're doing. And now you suddenly understand why you're so exhausted. You are just on nonstop all day from morning till night, constantly doing. And again, nobody gives you any credit for that. You can get up first thing in the morning and start cleaning the house and doing laundry, and it can take you until 6 o'clock to finish. And everybody's like, well, what'd you do all day? Nothing. It's so ridiculous at this point that we're not giving proper credit to the things that need to be done. So when you need this downtime, give yourself that break to relax, just be. Things might fall apart for a little while. It's not going to be the end of the world if that happens. If things fall apart for a little while, maybe somebody else will step up and do something. Maybe not. Maybe you'll have a big mess when you're done your resting and relaxing, but you still need your resting and relaxing to get back into the shape you need to be in order to handle all of this stuff. And finally, the third E is energy. I want you to keep track of it. Sometimes you'll have a lot of energy and you can just keep going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. And then sometimes you won't. You won't feel good. You won't have the energy and you'll be tired. And that's when you know it's time to slow down and ask for help. We have just been so ingrained into us that we shouldn't ask for help, that we find it to be a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of weakness. Oh, I hit a wrong button. Keyboard. It's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. If somebody is living in your house, it's not out of the question to ask them to pitch in, to do something that will help you out. We have to do more of this, ladies. We need to be able to ask for help and normalize that, because it's okay. You are tired because you are doing constantly. Speaking of the energy aspect, I just wanted to point out that I've been wearing this Aura ring I've had it a year now. I just had my Aura anniversary. This is very good with keeping track of all that stuff. It keeps track of your sleep, of your activity level. It keeps track of your exercise, and it'll tell me, like, if I had a bad night's sleep, it'll be like, oh, you're not, you didn't get enough good quality sleep last night. Maybe you should take it easy today. It's kind of pricey to purchase it, and then it is a $5.99 a month charge for the app. I find it to be totally worth it, especially for the fact of it really made me start paying more attention to what I eat and how much I drink. I've been drinking a lot less since I've gotten this ring because I didn't realize how much it really, truly affects your sleep. And oftentimes I just don't want to mess up my sleep schedule to have a couple of drinks. So the amount of money I've saved on not spending it on drinks has more than made up for the $5.99 I spend per month. So if you're looking for something that's going to help you, kind of like the Apple Watch, but like 10 times better. It's like 10 times better than the Apple Watch. I will tell you that because I have them both. And it can really let you know when you need to take a break and to slow down a little bit. So, as I mentioned at the top, please go to signforera.org. We are in this last final push to get that 100,000 mark of people demanding that the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment, be put into the Constitution this year. It has been 100 years since this has been introduced, and we will not go one more without it being published into the Constitution. So please visit that website and help us achieve this so very, very important goal. If you have any questions about me and what I do, please go to Hopefulist.com. All of the information is there. And if you have a friend that you think might be interested in Change the Conversation with the Hopefulist, well, by golly, please share it with your friends. I would love to hear that you were sharing it with people that you think will, benefit and maybe relate to it a little bit. But, this is all word of mouth, and we all need as much help as we can to change the conversation. So, going out there, be badass. We are stronger together, and I am cheering you on. Thank you for joining me in this conversation. Together, we are better. Please visit my website at hopefulist.com and remember to hit that subscribe or follow button.